first we was in my bed, baby. You was loving my love and I had you going crazy. Oh.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always joined with the illustrious Cigarden Panel with at I am Jazz Garcelle, at Just Entertainment, and the God Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. If you are just joining us tonight, we want to welcome you with open arms. And please go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Peace, family.
Peace, God. Peace, team. Yo, what we dealing with?
Just Entertainment, BK Soul Farm was good, family.
Hey, hanging on like a hubcap. You know what I mean? In the fast lane.
He said hanging on like a hub, like
in the carpool lane.
In the carpool lane.
You know what I mean? Yes,
that's funny. That's funny. What y'all been up to?
Man, just go ahead. I know you had a great week, past week.
Just back on the work grind. You know what I'm saying? The last 2 weeks, had a little, issue with my truck on the way back from my family reunion with regard to rotors and brakes. So had to address that this week. But other than that, just getting back in the groove of things, and back to, my son's playing football and just back to, regular domestic grind.
Domestic grind. Domestic grinds. That's great, man. Everybody made it back safely.
No, yes, that's sir. Good.
Yes,
myself, sir. I just been working, y'all. Working, God. Trying to do everything I can get done. Whatever's on the to-do list, get it off the to-do list and add more stuff to it.
That's what's up.
Yeah. How about yourself?
You already know, God. I'm playing in the dirt all the time. I had a miraculous discovery this past weekend. I figured out what a Venturi was. Like, it's something that I've been seeing for a long time, dealing with aquaponics and plumbing. Is a way to aerate your system without actually purchasing a bubbler or another power source, right? It's just a cool way to just make things work, and it's cheap and it's free, and it just took me like 4 or 5 years for it to just
right
for the cheap and free way.
Because I couldn't understand it, bro. Like, it was just too simple and too easy, and I just couldn't understand how to do it, and I just never did it. And I was able to accomplish it yesterday, so I felt pretty good.
Yes, what's up, Ali?
Yeah, that's great. Always accomplishing things, self-determination, exercising some patience.
Because I was trying.
Yeah, and since we talking about patience, tonight, y'all, our word this evening is patience. And if y'all new to the channel, what we do is we pick a word and we go to the definition of the word. We pick 3 sources, Merriam-Webster Dictionary, Wikipedia, and a regular Google search. What we do then is we break down, define the word, we break it down, analyze it, and discuss it. See how it applies to our lives, other people's lives, see how we may have been personally affected by it, or, whatever we talk about. And this evening's word is patience. So before we get into our word patience, we're going to go ahead and roll a couple of commercials from these sponsors, and then we're going to jump right back into it, y'all.
When you look good, you feel good. So let's get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch. August 1st through November 1st. Shop until you drop from our huge selection of apparel and accessories. Use code and enjoy 10% off our entire site at checkout. Visit www.dbcheftv.com. Hit the shopping link while supplies last and get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016, 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Yep, and we back, y'all. All the links are in the description if y'all want to check them things out. So, patience, y'all. Let's get to it. Tonight, we're going to be talking about patience. And one of the three questions that we're going to look at and examine very closely is one, can a person have too much patience? Two, is patience needed to be successful? And three, how important is patience in effective communication?
Can a person have too much patience?
And we're gonna bring those back. We're gonna come back to those questions. But first we have to do what we always do, and that's get the definition of it, so we can try to be as accurate as possible. So let's bring up these definitions. Okay, so we're going to start right here with the Merriam-Webster dictionary. And we got patience. The capacity, habit, or fact of being patient. Then we have two, which is chiefly British. Solitaire, sense two. Not really sure what that's about. But just in being solitaire.
I don't know. I guess with that, you had to look up patient. That doesn't even sound like enough information to tell you anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Root word patient. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's see what we're gonna come back to Merriam-Webster because we always go into the thesaurus as well. So let's go to this Google search right here. And it gave us the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. So that gives us a little more in relation to patience. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. All right. And then we have Wikipedia, which is always one of our sources. Patience or forbearance is the ability to endure difficult circumstances. Patience may involve perseverance in the face of delay, tolerance of provocation without responding with disrespect or anger, forbearance when under strain, especially when faced with longer-term difficulties, or being able to wait for a long time without getting irritated or bored. Patience is also used to refer to the character trait of being steadfast. Okay.
So I hate this definition.
So let's go to the thesaurus. Let's see what they say. Now they have patience as intolerance. All right, that's how they use it. Or or define it, the closest relation, the capacity to endure what is difficult or disagreeable without complaining. So then we see synonyms here: tolerance, willingness, forbearance, discipline, long suffering, obedience, sufferance, resignation, subordination. What's that word, God?
Acquiescence.
Acquiescence, passivity, submissiveness, compliance, passiveness, tractability, self-control, conformism, amenability, patience.
Oh my God, I hate all those.
Is that where that came from? Is that where is that one of those where that patience? Okay, so what's the opposite? Impatience, of course, defiance, resistance, disobedience, insubordination, willfulness. What's that R word? Recalcitrance.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, we might have got that one right. Interactability and contrariness.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So this is what we get with patience so far. So far, this is what we get with patience. The capacity to endure what is difficult or disagreeable without complaining.
Mm-hmm.
The capacity, habit, or fact of being patient. Okay. And patient was bearing pains or trials calmly without complaint, manifesting forbearance under provocation or strain, not hasty or impetuous, steadfast despite opposition, difficulty, or adversity, able or willing to bear, susceptible, admitting. Okay, and then they have these other uses of the word that we know to be commonly used in medical fields and personnel services.
Yeah, I already got my answer for the first one, son. I'm so confused. Like, I really don't know if a person can have too much.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. So to go to our, to go to our first question, like really, can a person have too much patience?
I say I don't know, right? Because off the bat, just reading what we read, I'm saying yes, a person can have too much patience. Like there's a point where you can get pushed over and now you're just getting leaned on. And I don't like stuff like that. I don't like that feeling. I don't like it being done to nobody else. But at the same time, to be like a king or like a ruler of a nation, like you have to be able to deal with a whole bunch of BS. Right? Like it's not like to be successful at it, right? Yeah, you can be in charge and then get killed.
Right.
Right. But to be successful at it, you need the patience, I think, to deal with all the crooked people and all the liars and not lose your mind. Cause I think I would take everybody that I think lied, take their heads off.
Yeah, that don't sound too patient. Heads getting chopped off. Yeah.
I ain't got it, man. Like, so I don't know, right? Like, what you got, Justin? Because I don't know, man.
Yeah, with the too much patience thing, I think somebody has too much patience, they can enable behavior. You know what I'm saying? You can enable somebody's behavior to continue a certain cycle or pattern. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, too much patience. And I mean, that goes hand in hand, like he said with the dictionary, individuals having like a certain level of tolerance, like with patience, you know, it comes hand in hand with everybody has a tolerance level. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, patience makes it sound like it's an unlimited tolerance. You know, like you, it's like you can be too patient. I mean, yeah, well, I'm just saying it makes it sound like it's unlimited tolerance level. You know, but like I said, with being too patient, if you have someone like you said in different positions in life, whether leadership role, subordinate, you know, family relationships, things of that nature. Definitely patience, but the fact that you're exercising a certain, you know, level of patience can enable somebody to continue certain behaviors, you know, and it could be negative and or positive, you know, but in most cases, when you have too much patience with somebody that you've been dealing with in life, whether professionally or, you know, just in your personal life, like I said, that can enable, you know, individuals' behaviors, whether, you know, in an adverse way and or, you know, in a positive way, you know. So that's how I think of it when I think of too much patience.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. People do tend to have a limit
right
to what they're willing to tolerate. And I think that that's just normal. It's like pain, you know, like a certain pain limit, you know, even for people who's higher, some people's is lower, some people's is, you know, it varies. But they said restraint, self-restraint, you know, stoicism, calmness, composure. And the thing about the patience is, like you said, just like you said, that it seemed like it's just infinite, like it's just supposed to be infinite, like it's no end to it, right? And it seems that, you know, that because they correlate understanding to it, kindness, consideration. That's why I was kind of like in the title, you know, is it able to be defied? Can we defy it? Is that a form of defying it when we all agree here that yes, a person can't have too much patience? Is that a form of defying the patience? Is that a form of defying the ability to understand, to have kindness, to be considerate?
I don't know, God. I think your pain analogy was perfect, because not only do we all have different pain tolerances, but as human beings, we all have a pain tolerance that will at some point make us pass out. Right? Like it's gonna reach a threshold where your body is just gonna say to hell with what your mind is talking about. It's just gonna make you pass out, right? So
okay.
I think it's situational, right, for everybody. I think everybody's patient level is so different that it's hard to judge. I think that'll be safer to say for me, right? I think it'd be harder to judge if somebody is being patient, or if you're being patient without having like a whole lot of consideration for yourself and for the situation.
Okay.
But I like the pain analogy, because that seems like, because I could take pain, but at the same time I did pass out from too much pain.
Okay. I get that. I get that. I get that. Okay. Somebody in the chat said that there's a difference between tolerance and patience. I'm gonna say not in the dictionary. They correlate them to be the same thing. They actually define it as the capability to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. So
Can't
like
be patient unless you tolerate.
So it appears to us, like, because we just learning this for the first time too, like as far as the correlation between tolerance and patience. You know, this evening, to the person in the chat, But like Ali just said, like it seems like you have to be patient, you have to have tolerance. So they like one and the same.
Yo, I think one of the words in there that I hate the most, but it's so true. They said you have to suffer.
They do have suffering in it. Sufferance is one of the words.
Right. And that part right there. So and when I think about that, right, what Justin brought up family relationships, I think about parental, I think about just having a spouse, just not even a bad spouse, just a regular spouse with they just got their regular emotions, and you just got your regular emotions, and every day is not, a sunshiny day.
Right.
Right. Like you need that's a little like because if you listen to the narrative, like I said, these young kids, they consider all that type of stuff, that regular stuff, to be considered struggle love, and make you think you settling for something, when in reality, right, like you really just fighting for your love, like you just fighting, just fighting to stay alive, you just fighting to stay alive, you're doing the work.
You're doing the work. Things come up. Things come up, and you have to be patient with it, and you have to have some tolerance. And I guess there is a sufferance to it because it's not always fun.
Yeah, so I'll say, this is coming from probably one of our viewers, and I'll just read what they stated because I did get a comment.
What we got?
Basically, yeah, Noah, but she didn't. It's not in there now. That's my sister. She had chimed in, and basically, I just want to give her credit because she said someone with too much patience opens up the opportunity to be taken advantage of.
Yeah, we can pull it up.
Yeah, that's what you were saying about the enabling.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Enabling specific or certain behaviors, or behaviors you've dealt with before, previously. So tolerate, patient. I mean, yeah, it's all the same, Pearl. It's all in the same gambit of emotions or feelings. I mean, it's all the same. Tolerate, patient. I mean, patience really a nicer way of saying tolerate.
Yeah, because even going to work, right? Unless you're the boss, or man, even then you need a lot of patience and tolerance to deal with your employees. But like that whole process of getting up every day and throwing your clothes on and dealing with traffic, to sit at somebody's cubicle for 8 hours and then come home, right? Like that takes a lot of patience to do that every single day.
Right. I mean, they didn't have another word that was matched up with that, not to cut you off, but like resilience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Patient, resilient.
Yeah, they have endurance, calmness, composure, equilibrium, serenity,
right,
tranquility, understanding, indulgence, determination, resolve, resolution, resoluteness. Yes. Singleness of purpose, purposefulness. Yeah. So
it's just crazy, patience doesn't have like negative or positive vibe. You know what I mean? It's just like a general word. Like, I'm going to tolerate you. I'm going to be patient with you, but it doesn't say whether it's positive or negative. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just a feeling or a behavior that you exhibit, but it's not like whether it's positive or negative. It's just like, it's neutral. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be patient with you.
It's like the sunshine. It's like the sunshine.
But if you tell somebody that I'm gonna tolerate you, then that's negative. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm just being patient, it sounds a little bit more positive. But if you tell somebody, man, I'm just tolerating you, it sounds a little bit more negative. It has a little negative tone to it. Like, I'm tolerating you.
Okay, cool. I get that. What about because it's a word, right? So what about fuck you, or I want to fuck you?
Positive, negative. Depends on who you're talking to. You know what I mean? I mean, if I tell somebody to fuck you, that means, you know what I mean? You get it. But the other thing could be bad. I mean, that could be sexual assault. Harassment.
But
if some,
right,
what,
but,
what,
no,
what
but
if you
what if
tell?
I'm saying I want to fuck you though? But what if you communicating that to somebody who being told they want to be fucked, right? Like then
Right,
is it
right,
still, you know, like
right,
that's okay then, right? So it's okay to pick and choose when we feel good about it,
right,
even correlating it to exercising our patience.
That's why
right.
that's why I like the word the pain analogy, because of the suffering. Because even when I think about tranquility and I think about the person that is tranquil, like how much BS they are sitting through and putting up with, and they are not letting bother them. Like
Right.
it's still
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Like it's still like their body still feeling the wind and the rain and all that stuff. Like little kids are poking them and whatnot, and dogs are licking them, right? Like stuff is still happening to them, and they are just like, that's a lot. That's a whole lot, bro. That's a lot.
Right. And still be maintaining some type of patience. You know what I mean? Like
Maintain.
you can
It's
have
not
a whole
even.
bunch of negative stuff going on with you and still maintain some level of patience. You know what I
You
mean?
know, the last few words that Pearl brought up, I don't think is maintaining patience. Is actually is maintaining a purposefulness,
Right.
right?
A purpose.
Right, because they're being tranquil for a reason, their own reason, and they're not letting anything or anybody else interfere with that until they're finished, right? Like
Right.
that's
They're maintaining their mental health, no doubt. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I guess they
Yeah.
are doing
I
that.
guess I
Yeah,
guess they are
I
doing
mean,
that.
at the end of the day, they're maintaining their mental health. Otherwise, like again, everybody has tolerance levels, and when you're exercising patience, even through hard and bad times, I mean, you're maintaining some level of patience with a process or something. You're waiting the opportunity, things of that nature, and dealing with people in general, because that could be some of the hardest things just to deal with in life. Just dealing with people, in general, so. I totally get it,
Right. Is patience one of them things that could be like okay, so you know how I was correlating the F word just now with the patience, right? Is
Yes,
patience
sir.
one of them things that could be like, like why you so patient? Can a person be deemed negatively patient?
Well, yeah, like if in a household, if you got a mother and a father who see things differently when it comes to the child, right? Couldn't that be something like that? Like what, you
Or
always.
yeah, or you just dealing with your kids in general. You know what I mean? Like one parent might be more patient than the other. Like,
Yeah.
the mom might be about to crack, and then you're a little bit more patient. Just
like
depending on the
like
situation.
like like don't kill him, baby. Like we can just hug him out.
Right? Exactly.
That's that dad sauce. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's definitely where patience can be looked at as a negative, right?
Yo, I'm looking in the chat and I'm looking at Noah's comments about tolerate being an emotional thing,
Yeah,
and
this one right here, I put that up.
patience being more empathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. And I guess like the way Justin was saying it, I guess that's how you say it's like the fuck you versus the I want to fuck you, right? Like it's just how you saying it, or who you saying it to and how you taking it. Like that's
Yeah. Agreed. I
Real.
mean,
Because if the person likes to be talked to like that, then that's not offensive to them,
right.
right?
yeah.
It may be offensive for you to say it because you don't want to talk to a person like that.
Right.
So she also, what's the difference between, she writes that tolerance isn't dealing with emotion, patience is dealing with emotion in the sense of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, empathy, I guess, would be a deeper feeling, a
Yeah, right.
a deeper level of emotion.
Again, the
But to
positive. Yeah.
tolerate it is,
hmm
I'm gonna have to go. Sis, tolerate is still dealing with emotion and patience. Both. I mean, they one and the same. so far based on these definitions. Because if I tolerate, like, I'm not going to tolerate everything. So things that we choose to tolerate, they have an emotional attachment to it.
Maybe tolerate just sound bad. Like the
That's
word
what I was. That's what I was saying. That's what does. It sounds. Yeah. If you tell somebody, I'm just tolerating you. Yeah, it
like
doesn't
the
sound.
like
Look
it
at
said,
that, but look at the difference. But look at the difference by saying, right, it's the use case, right? It's still going back to the fuck thing. It's the use case. Well, I'm just tolerating you, right? But but if a person saying that, this might be some old school shit. I don't know if nobody using this, but you're gonna come over there and let me tolerate me for the night, baby. You know what I'm saying? So like you might, that's how you might be playing with your lady, you know,
yeah.
Yeah,
and
it depends.
and
Depends
it's
on
still the
delivery.
use case, right?
Right. It depends on delivery, how you deliver it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But what I'm saying is that's how we saying it. Like to tolerate some shit or to have patience, you got to exemplify that. You got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It
Right.
ain't just about what you saying, because you cannot say anything and tolerate something.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, obviously, actions speak louder than words. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
Of course. I mean,
right.
actions.
Because you can still not like a situation and deal with it,
Not
right?
really. You choosing to not deal with it.
No, I'm
Right.
saying as far as exercising patience, right? Like you can be in a situation that you don't like, that you're in it, but you're gonna be in it because you see the goal, or you see a bigger picture, something like that, right? Like the
Yeah, that's
whole
tolerance.
the whole time you're not you don't like the actions that the people are taking. You don't like the way it's making you feel. There's a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot of things you don't like as far as your emotion. I'm just trying to think about the words emotions and empathy, and you feel terrible while you tolerating and being patient. but you do it anyway, right? So I don't know if it has anything to do with emotions for real. Like I think it's more about the purpose and will.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say. See, the singleness of purpose is one of the
Yeah,
synonyms of patience.
yeah,
So for that example that you just used, singleness of purpose fits beautifully with that construct, because if hey, you may be getting up, going to this place, working every day,
that you don't
and,
like.
and you really don't like it, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you have a purpose for being there. You can see the goal, you know what the outcome is. So you're going to tolerate it. You're going to the ability, the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. So in that case, we could say that that person is suffering through that because they really don't want to be there and they really don't know any other way to change their situation. Or you may have so much time in that it's just like it don't make sense for me to change this situation right now. You know, it's a host of things. No matter what it is, a person is still trying to exemplify the capacity to tolerate,
Hmm.
you know,
Damn.
and delay in that situation until they can find, you know, a different something different to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
and that
Noah
is
said three things. My bad. She has three things she said on there. You might want to read those, and maybe you did. I don't know. Maybe I overlooked it.
now we got patience means you are willing to wait it out. We definitely agree with that. Tolerate means you putting up with it. Okay. I mean,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
you you said the same thing. Because if I'm willing to wait it out, then I'm willing to put up with
right.
it.
and,
Just
and, and
one sounds nastier than the other. You know what I mean?
and in reality, neither one of those have anything to do with how you feel about it, right? Because you are willing to wait it out.
Yeah.
Like your will and is overpowering your feelings.
Yeah.
And your emotions.
Your mind is over matter. Patience,
Yeah,
I'll give you time and space to figure it out. I don't know. I guess you can use that in some cases if you can tolerate some shit like that.
right.
Depending on what type of time and space we talk about.
I would need way more words than that.
Right.
Right.
That's not like we broke up.
Man, that sounds like it's over.
Over.
You know, for real.
Yeah.
That sounds like she already got somebody.
That's funny.
That's what that's. Or he or whoever it is in a relationship, somebody got somebody.
Well, I mean, you know, it doesn't even have to be relationships, though. That could be on a professional level too, with somebody that's at work. You know what I mean? Hey, we're gonna give you some time to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like if you have somebody messing up on some specific task, I mean, that could be used for, you know, professionally too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're gonna give you some time and space to figure out, you know, how to do it properly. You know, things that. So, I mean. The word, I mean, it can be used in the professional realm. It can be used in personal life. I mean, it's used.
The universal word.
Correct. I mean, it's used in professional workplaces, and it's used for, you know, personally too. You know, I mean, but I mean, even that patience is. I'll give you some space and time to figure it out. Like, okay, that could be work. That could be work related. You know, like you've been fucking up.
You're right.
You've been fucking up and ain't reading manuals and
That
policies.
sounds like fired.
You fired to me.
It sounds like you fired.
You told me that was your sister, bro, and all I'm reading is a female talk about. I'm gonna give you a that's all I see now.
Yeah. I'm just saying it could be, you know, in a professional realm but hey, it's either, hold on, y'all said either personal, you breaking up, or professionally, you fired.
That's it.
Professionally, you fired. Yeah. It's all over. It sounds like it's all over.
It's over. Like, it's right. In fact, we are not doing patience, right? We ended it finito.
Yeah, that's right.
That's code for you. Hey, that's code for you're fired.
Look, because it said, I'll give you space and time to figure it out. It didn't say, it ain't say we gonna take some time to figure some things out.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, bro.
I'll give you some time to figure some things out.
See.
Classic feminine energy. I love it.
Oh, that's so funny.
It wouldn't be right without it. Salute, sis. It wouldn't be right without it.
That's somebody taking control of the situation.
She said, dude, you gotta go figure it.
That situation's over. Right? Like taking control. Like it's over with.
I know, man. Whoever spit that out first is ending it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So, you know, patience, tolerance, and you know, it's all about your will, what you will do. And that don't stop until you decide that you don't want to do it no more.
Right.
And,
yeah.
And that decision could be based on how you feel. That the decision could be based on because it's Monday tomorrow. That decision could be based on because it rained. It kind of really don't matter what the decision is based on. You're still making a decision, and you gotta do that.
But everybody has a breaking point. You know what I mean? Everybody has a breaking point. You don't know what certain things trigger people to crack. I mean, and that's, you know, when your tolerance level and or your patience level has been reached, you know, you don't know what triggers somebody to be like, I'm done. And nobody will ever know, you know, unless they just come out and say, hey, I'm done. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of doing this and that, or I'm tired of talking to you. I mean, it could be as something simple as, you know, all of us have family members that vent, you know, about circumstances, relationships, job, you know, workplace issues, things of that nature, financial. I mean, so, and I know you guys can agree because you probably have some relatives just like I do, you know, have different circumstances that arise. And, you know, we all deal with, you know, different, dynamics in our families and, you know, work related too. That you know, all the patients, I mean, it's in there, and like I said, individuals, even people in supervisory senior leadership positions, they have a breaking point too. Like, man, I can't do this anymore with you. You know, like you're done. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they
You're
just like, I
fired.
can't. You're fired, man. Like I just, hey,
You're
I mean,
fired, man.
that's why they put people on performance improvement plans and stuff
Yeah,
like that. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, hey,
yeah.
we're gonna try, and that's exercising the level of patience too. There with a program.
So I was
You
just
know,
about to ask that. I was just about to
Yeah.
ask that. Is that
Sure.
exercising patience if there's a program?
I would say it is. They have a program to try to get you right. I mean, that movie Life can't get right. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call people like that. That movie Life can't get right.
Right. I
So
mean,
I mean, it's
that's a
some,
level of tolerance. That is a level of tolerance.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, so I mean, if they're exercising some type of performance program for you, they're exercising some patience. Like we're going to give this
Yeah,
guy a
yeah,
chance. Like
yeah.
it's just
It's,
a
a-
formal way. It's a
it's
formal
like
way of doing it.
it's like probation, I guess. Yeah,
Right, but it's a formal way that you can't say, "Hey, they didn't tell me what my inconsistencies or
that makes sense.
what what issues I had performance wise that or then I didn't get any feedback on what I need to improve on. That's just a formal way on documented that hey, we did try to give him a chance and this is how we did it, and that covers a lot of organizations and managers ass in the workplace, so I mean that is exercising some level of patience, like, hey, you know what, he's trying, but everybody's output's different, just like everybody's patient level is different, everybody's tolerance level is different. Like I said, you don't know when somebody's going to crack. You just don't know.
Yeah.
It could be just something real stupid, I mean, it could be anywhere from you got your in-laws living with you to you kicking your, partner to the curb because you done, you reached your tolerance level, like I had patience with you. I was trying to make it work, but it's done. Like it's over with,
but it's right. So we agree that from our first question, can a person have too much patience? So can a person have too much patience, y'all? We agree across the panel that you can have too much patience, but I
Yeah.
mean it's kind of
depends on
necessary.
the person, right?
Which I think
Right, Pearl?
it means yes, right? Like because there's a breaking point for everybody.
Well, you
Everybody,
like our viewer Noah said, you can be taken advantage of, and then
Yeah.
once you start feeling, but it may take some time to get to that feeling. You know what I mean? It may take months, maybe a couple years. And so yeah, it's everybody, like you said, they have a breaking point, and somebody can reach a certain level and
Yeah.
just be like, I can't do it no more. Like I have
And
patience, but I don't have no more patience with you.
and just because you're being patient, just because you're being taken advantage of doesn't mean that you're not practicing patience still.
Correct. Yeah, like I
Right?
said, I mean, to each
Until
his
until
own.
until you stop it, you are still practicing patience, right? Like that's why I say, like, it doesn't matter how you feel about the situation, you're gonna do a thing until you decide you don't want to do that thing no more. Right.
Right.
So if somebody is taking advantage of you, you are literally allowing it because you are practicing patience, because you are tolerating them or the situation. And that's just the truth, right? Like, and if we just be honest, because one of the things I think it was one of the things you mentioned was consideration. That was part of that thing, right?
Right.
And because everybody has different pain levels or different levels of patience, like we really need to have way more heart to heart conversations so we can so we can have more consideration for each other and it make more
Yeah.
sense, right? So that we know I can only go so far with Pearl before he get mad, and he won't be mad because he a jerk or asshole. He'll be mad because I did something to make him mad.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? I'll just say, patience doesn't have to be exercised with just people. It could be with tasks, like working on a
Yeah.
old school car, you with your farming, you have a certain level of patience with different, things
Yeah.
that you do. Something ain't growing right. It ain't coming out the way, your production's not coming out the way you wanted to. And that could just be in simple tasks every day, like the kitchen ain't clean the way I wanted it to, but I'm being patient. Or like if you had you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be specifically about individuals. It can just be with simple daily tasks. You know, for example, getting through traffic to go to work. You know what I'm saying? They're just exercising a certain level of patience, even to that extent. You know.
Absolutely. So we're gonna move to the second question. Is patience needed to be successful?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, successful.
I don't care. I don't care if you're the employee or the owner. You need patience. Right? As an entrepreneur, you need patience. You need to you just need to understand the process of economics. And every day is not a winning day. Everybody don't buy out the grocery store every single day. Those are not fresh chickens every single day. Those are not fresh vegetables every single day.
What?
Everybody
When they say fresh back there in the fish place, that's not fresh. They ain't just catch that.
Man, unless you saw the aisles empty when you went in there and everything was bought off the shelves, nah. Like
Oh, it was fresh. Them shrimp that they thawing out and putting on ice. Oh, I mean,
yeah,
that's
it's
not
fresh. Yeah, fresh out the freezer, right? Like they could put like most supermarkets, right? Like by the time they giving birds to us, man, like they be having these birds for a year on ice, right? That's
Right.
that's the law. The law they can keep a bird or meat on ice for a year before they can unthaw it and have to sell it.
Right.
So fresh, I don't know.
Well, air chilled. Is that what you're referring to? Air chilled. Because I know that's a Whole Foods thing with the air chilled chicken.
I don't think that's fresh either.
Right.
But definitely in relation to success, in being patient, in relation to success, we some of the things like tolerance, restraint, calmness, composure, understanding, diligence, application, determination, resolve, purposefulness. Those are some of the synonyms that correlate to patience. And if you guys could, do y'all see how those things that correlate to patience have a rhyme or reason with successes?
Clearly, like it. There's no way. You gotta be able to deal with the losses. You got to be able to deal with the plateaus, right? You got to be able to deal with all those things, right? Like you have to be consistent. All those words apply, right? Like as an employee, right? Again, you don't like your boss, you don't like your coworkers, you may not like you may not even think that you're getting paid enough, but until you find the position or the career that's going to pay you what you're worth, or until you get the skill set or whatever, you have to do whatever you have to do until the next thing can happen, right? So all those things apply.
Yeah, I mean that even has to do with like say being humble. You know what I mean?
Being humble.
Humbling
I
yourself.
don't know about humble. I don't know about humble.
Well, I'm saying if you're being patient, let's say I'll give an example, a professional example. Okay, you got this. You got this job, and they weren't paying you the salary that you were, looking for. You know what I'm saying? And said, hey, in the next year or so, we'll see how, or next 6 months, we'll see how your performance is, and then basically, look at trying to give you what they call like a merit increase, which is, kind of like, it's based on performance, but it's like an annual increase, and so. In the meantime, let's say you didn't get that, that estimated salary that you were looking for, or that, you were hoping for a specific salary. They didn't give it to you. It was a couple $1,000s, but, below. And when I'm saying humble, like, I mean, I'm not saying, and, when I say humble, I'm not saying you think you're better than anybody, but you're going to be patient and humble yourself and do the work necessary, like you said, to take your step to the next level. because, you know, like you said, maybe you have to prove yourself. There might be something, and then you're going to be patient in hopes that, you know, perhaps you'll get an increase in your paycheck in the future. You know what I mean? And you're exercising some level of patience, and you're being humble. You aren't being greedy. Like, no, you need to give me this salary. I demand this specific salary right now. You know, and even like right now in today's society, a lot of organizations, you know, they're trying to bring people in at a base level and or equivalent to the peers that they're working with, like, because they don't want it to cause any rifts. And, you know, like, for example, if they're paying a person a specific amount, they don't want to try to, you know, this person just started and I don't want to have that person over there because then they might have, you know, maybe more experience or the same level of experience and they're not getting that much. So we're going to give this person the same amount and they might have a couple, you know, a few more years of experience. So what they do is they bring people in at like a, you know, competitively. That's what they call it, competitive. They bring them in competitively. So when it does come for a time frame that they need to give someone a raise, that, you know, one person, and, you know, out in the civilian world, as far as like talking about what you're making, things of that nature is like a big no-no. Like, you don't talk to other individuals like, hey, I'm making this much and you tell me how much you're making. And, you know, so you don't cause any like a mutiny, you know what I mean? And then, you know, then both or one or the other, you know, your coworkers is not performing like they want to, because then they find out the supervisor's like, hey, I heard you're paying her like $2,000 or $3,000 more. And they're like, oh, how'd you know that? Oh, she told me, you know, and then you got some, you know, toxic work environment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying with patience, I mean, humble might be humble yourself, meaning like you're not going to be arrogant and indignant. Like, I'm not going to take that because it's not $2,000 or $3,000 more than you wanted. And you're going to take, you know, less and look at some, you know, pros and, you know, not necessarily cons. And I mean, with employment, you got to look at both, you know, and in life, you got to look at pros and cons, but hopefully it's more pros than it is cons. And you're not looking at like the negative, you know, cheating yourself out of an opportunity. That's what I'm saying. With the humble thing, being humble, like, you know, hey, I'm not arrogant. I don't think my shit doesn't stink type of attitude.
What if you don't think your shit don't stink, but your farts don't smell?
I mean, hey,
what if your shit stink, but your farts don't smell?
Hey, there's some people out there their farts don't stink. You know what I'm saying?
You could be delusional a little bit. You might think because your farts don't smell that your shit don't stink. No,
agreed.
But I'm just teasing. What was your response to that, God?
So I agree with. I just don't like the humble word. For me,
right.
And we may need to do a week on it, right? But for me personally,
yes, sir.
I think humility is only subject to the Most High, right?
No, I agree. I agree with that.
I am humble when I wake up every single day. Right. And the work and the efforts that I put forward at my job are my efforts that I'm putting forward and work for. Right. So when you talk about those meritorious awards and stuff like that, that's based off of my merit. That's based off of my effort, my willfulness, my patience, and my desire to tolerate this job and this position and these people, because I want to do a good job or because I'm hoping to get a raise or a bonus. Right. But I lead out just don't like people using the word humble, talking to other people, right? Because no matter how you try not to say it, it always comes off as a put down, right? Because it's like, who are you to tell me to be humble? Like, how can you tell me that I'm already not being humble?
Right. And you're talking about spiritual, you know what I mean, on a spirituality. And I may be talking more of in the workplace, not on a personal level, which, I mean, I get it. You're a spiritual being. Everybody has a certain level of spirituality. And I'm not saying it to offend in that way, but I'll say this. If you know, I'll say this. Hold on, look back up. What if somebody was like, hey, man, hey, what if somebody was telling you, you know, like I said, they were going to offer you a specific amount to, you know, buy your farm or offer you some position with increased salary, and it wasn't paying you what you wanted, but you knew it was like, you know what, maybe I'm being unreasonable, And then the person was like, well, you don't need to be greedy. Well, would greedy be the same thing? Like if somebody said you're greedy because you weren't getting exactly what it is that you were asking for. So is greedy in the same light as humble?
Am I getting market value at least?
Yeah, I'm just hypothetically speaking.
So
I'm just hypotheticals.
Yeah, I'm following your hypothetical. In your hypothetical, am I being offered at least market value for my farm?
Right. We're saying that you're being offered something comparable to your peers. Okay. I'm just saying, but if my point is, if I said you were being greedy, would that be the same thing as me saying you need to be humble?
I can't answer that question until I know if I'm getting market value or not, right? Because comparable to my peers don't mean anything to me, because if my peers took a bad deal and they didn't get market value.
Well, I'm just saying Ali, I'm just saying in general, hypothetically, not even like being like serious. Like if somebody said the word greedy to you, would that be the same thing as me saying humble? Like, hey man, you need to be humble. Or if somebody said, hey, you're being greedy.
I'm 100% being serious with you. This is how my brain works. Right. And if somebody was to say something about being greedy, I would need context. Right. I would need to know why they applying that to me. Right. And what are they measuring it against? Right. That's why that's why I actually
like what's going on at that moment.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you that. I'll give you an example. I said, hey, Ali, I'm gonna offer you $80,000, and you said, no, man, I want 85,000 or 84,000 or 83,000. That's a couple thousand away from what your expectation is, and then somebody turns around and was like, well, I'm going to give you 80,000 plus you get benefits, and they're giving you all these fringe benefits and perks about the possession, and you're like, no, I want 84,000, and you're like, I know, I gotta have it. And then they go, well, you know what? I think you're greedy because here's all the other benefits, like you got decreased health coverage and dental coverage ain't that much, and all these other benefits, and we got 100%, 100,000 life insurance policy on you while you work. I'm just giving you an example. Like if it was a few $1,000s more, and somebody came out and said that you were being greedy, and we're offering you something that's competitive in your field of work based on your experience and credentials, would you be offended that somebody said you was greedy? Like me saying humble
I would. I'm gonna ask him. I know you ain't. I ain't in the theoretical, but I would. I'd be like, how you gonna tell me I ain't worth what I'm trying to get, man? Like, just because everybody else took 80 like that. I kind of get that. Like, just because everybody else took 80, it could have been a bad deal. The work. Okay. What if they really got us doing $100,000 worth of work in there?
Right. I get it. I mean, I was just being very lightweight and not strategic to the extent of like, yeah, I'm getting paid $80,000.
I get it's a great theory. Yeah. I get. You laying the
plan,
bro.
You
but
good.
It's really about the word greedy. Like I know I'm just saying in general, I guess maybe I should just said, if somebody said you were greedy versus humble, would it be in the same context? Like you think it's the same offensive language, like humble, which I mean, I get what you're saying because I'm with you.
In the context of how you made it, yeah.
I mean, I get what he's saying with the whole humble thing. I'm with the like waking up. Hey, you know what? But
I'm greedy and I ain't humble. Damn.
But I get what he's saying with the whole. I get what he's saying on a spirituality context, in the fact that waking up every morning. Like
but it's not spiritual for me, right? Like so this is why I love Cigar Sundays, because like we really come in here to break down words that we use every single day. Not that we use them wrong or incorrectly, but we really don't have a full grasp or understanding of what the words mean. Right. That's why I said we may have to do a whole show on humble, because for me personally, it hit different. Right. Like I don't think people should be applying it to other people, right? Because it's like, you looking down on somebody and telling somebody, like even telling somebody that they being greedy. Right. Like I don't even know like how hungry are they? Like, when was the last time they ate? You know, like, I mean,
but greedy can be applied to.
Like, damn, like
I'm saying like greedy can be applied to a lot of things and not just food. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why it was important for me to know if I was at least getting market value, irregardless of what everybody else was getting. Because if I'm getting market value and I want more, I would say I'm being greedy.
Right. But I was really more about the word for me. Like, if somebody said you were being greedy, would you be offended? You know what I mean? In an optimal situation.
If they didn't have good reason to call me greedy,
right.
Yeah,
right. I get it.
I'm 100% offended by the word humble, just simply on the fact that like you don't even know what time I got up this morning.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Ali. The likelihood of somebody saying that to you,
it's high.
You'd had to be for you to be humble,
bro. Yo, Pearl.
He don't know where you work at. He don't know where you.
No, I mean, well, I do. I mean, he's civil service, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
But like I've been. Yo, bro, I've been told to be humble. I've been told I need to humble myself.
Right.
I've been told a bunch of things, right? And I really reflected on these things. I'm like, man, nah, I'm right. Is everybody else? Is everybody else?
Right. No, and I know what he means. And I'm really saying, right. Like, you're humbled every morning to wake up every day, because every day is not guaranteed. So I'm with you on that one. 100%. I'm glad you just wake up, dude.
But
that's it.
No, but it's more than just being glad to wake up. Like, I really have an opportunity to be the very best version of myself. Right. Like the fact that I woke up means that I can put into action everything that I'm thinking. Right. Yes, I got 24 hours to pack as much stuff in as I possibly can. Right. And nobody is determining my success but me.
Right. Spend that day like it's your last.
Say that again, God. I got 24 hours in a day to get as much stuff done that's in my brain.
That's it.
You spend every day. Yep.
And nobody is stopping me from getting that done but me. Nobody determines the outcome of that.
Nobody determines if I'm being successful or not but me. Like, I have my own goals for my plans, right? So can't nobody tell me my farm is not big enough.
Right.
If I have USDA paperwork saying that my house is a farm.
Right.
That part.
Right.
I think it's big enough.
Well, we need more people to think like you in the world.
That's what this show is about, though, right? Because we using these words all willy-nilly, and we are offending each other and being offended simply because we don't understand.
Yeah, lack of understanding. Lack of understanding. And delivery. It has to do with delivery too. You know what I mean? I'm sure Pearl can relate. And how you deliver.
Delivery is tough because we all from different places.
Right.
Right.
And me being from Brooklyn, like, my delivery, I'm told, is harsh all the time. Right? Even when I'm saying hello, how you doing? Right? Like, it's still like I'm like, yo, man, come on. Right?
Unless
so I gotta smile and saying
it. Right, Ali. And on top of that, everybody's from different demographics, and I would say everybody's from different demographics, and in today's society, you do have to have some thick skin, and that even comes up for the younger generation. Like, I have nieces and nephews. A son that's about to breach 18 this September, so they definitely have to have some tough skin. Yeah, he's about to be 18.
He's about to breach. You heard him? He's about to breach. Crazy.
It's almost like, look out, world.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, everybody has to have some thick skin, and where we live in a highly volatile and sensitive society these days, and you have to be very careful about what you say and how you say it to anybody. It don't matter who it is. You can look at somebody the wrong way, and that's you saying something, So
you just look.
Like, man, he looked at me and
your look said something. Was it like this? Was it a face like this? Like Like,
Yeah, right. His look called me a booger wolf. You know what I mean?
So yeah.
So yeah,
it happens.
Yeah,
But look, y'all, we came to that great part of the show that everybody likes, that special time where we go off topic a little bit and we check out some of the current event things that are going on that probably everybody's familiar with. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get to that.
Ain't nobody bringing more flavor than just entertainment with the flavor bomb. Now that's flavor.
What you got, Jess?
So I'm sure in the last 2 weeks, I know you guys know, I'm not sure if you're privy to the Marvel Universe, Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not sure if that's your cup of tea. I saw it maybe a week ago. Very good. Almost like a 3-hour movie, equivalent to the Marvel's Avengers Endgame movie. But this thing actually in the box office hit 1 billion in like 2 weeks. It hit $1 billion in 2 weeks, like $494 million in North America, and then a $535 million internationally, coming to like, I think they hit 1.02 billion global box office, and it's actually the second release, the Disney's release with Marvel that hit that. The first one was the Endgame, and then this actually I'll take that back. It wasn't the Endgame. It actually beat out the Endgame. I think the first one that they had that actually breached 1 billion, it was 1.9 billion, was Sony's Spider-Man No Way Home was the first one. This the Spider-Man, which I think took place overseas, but it's actually one of the first Marvel Universe movies to be headlined by the comic book characters that were previously licensed to 20th Century Fox. So Ryan Reynolds and obviously assembled with Hugh Jackman, the hero, to make this movie. They did have a couple of cameos of individuals that showed up, like Jennifer Garner. She played in that movie Elektra. Not sure if you've seen that. Chris Evans, formerly known as Captain America. If you remember, he passed away in the Endgame. He comes back in Deadpool as the Human Torch. He was the first one. They had Michael B. Jordan was in the second Fantastic Four. He was the first Torch. Then he took over Captain America's position in the Marvel Universe, and they had Michael B. Jordan. He was playing the Human Torch. Wesley Snipes showed up in Deadpool. Believe it or not, Wesley Snipes was the first star of Marvel Studios. He did the first movie, Blade. The Blade movie was like the first movie that Marvel ever released. It was a comic book. They released it. Subsequent one after that, which actually featured Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel. And the second one, really, really good movie. I'm not sure if you guys have caught it, but it's a good movie, Blade 1 and 2. The third installment, I think they had from Sticky Fingers from Onyx. He played in the third one. It wasn't as good. In the third one. Yeah, he was in the third one. And then, but yeah, it was cool to see some of these. Like I said, Jennifer Garner showed up. Actually, Channing Tatum, he showed up as Gambit, even though he didn't previously play that. And I don't know if you ever saw that Wolverine, The Origins. You ever seen that, Ali? Wolverine, The Origins.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds was in that. Obviously, Hugh Jackman. There were a couple of other stars. Ryan Reynolds actually played somebody. I guess they were in some type of war. He played a character in that too. So Ryan Reynolds has been in Blade. He was in an X-Men movie. And then he came out, obviously, with Deadpool. And then it was just a nice little matchup with him and Wolverine in that movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. I went with my son last Saturday. And like I said, it was almost a 3-hour movie, but it was well worth it. It was a really good movie. Next, I'm not sure if anybody's heard, but Cardi B announces that Offset is the father of her third child in the middle of a divorce. I didn't even know. I think this is maybe the second time they talked about separating. But Cardi B had announced that she's expecting her third child with our rapper Offset in the midst of a new divorce process. So,
well, I'm glad that that she is pregnant by Offset.
Because that means all three of her children got the same father, right?
Yeah, but it means that they still there's a possibility for them to not break up, whatever they got going on.
Yeah,
as
they're practicing patience.
Yeah.
So she said, just not to cut you off, in her emotional message, Cardi B reflected on the lessons learned and challenges she faces, and basically stated, with every ending comes a new beginning. She wrote, putting the end of his marriage and the beginning of a new stage of perspective. I'm so grateful to have shared this season with you. You have brought more love and more life, and above all, renewed my power. She added, referring to the complexity of managing a separation while awaiting the arrival of a new child. So that's her statement about the whole situation. So
yeah, it's unfortunate that they're going through a little divorce, but
yeah, no, that part is crazy, like especially since she's expecting a brand new baby. So, like that sounds.
Hopefully they can work it out, man.
It sounds a little irresponsible.
I don't agree. I definitely don't agree with Cardi music all the time for the young girls, especially the song she just put out. Well, I'm not even going to say it because then it's like I'm giving it too much promotion.
Yeah.
But
right.
I mean, and it's just because I know young people going to listen to it and think that it's cool, and it's just not like, do you really want your little girls doing all that? So
right,
but I hope they work out their marriage though, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Young hip hop power couple, two moguls, they got their thing going or whatever. So I like to see them, work that stuff out if they could, but it ain't my business. I don't know. So, I don't know who hurt.
Right. Just to put a closing to this, I guess Offset said, who has been opened up about his personal struggles, also opened up about what this pregnancy means to her in a time of so much uncertainty. Basically stated, I love you so much, and I can't wait for you to witness what you helped me achieve, what you pushed me to do. And she expressed in his message addressing both the unborn baby and his followers. And in addition, he stressed the importance of his family. So at the least, he's putting his family, first and not really worrying about the relationship aspect. You know what I mean? And
that sounds like they breaking up for TV.
Yeah, it may be.
Because both their letters sound like, I love you.
Right.
But we breaking up. What? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that sound like so we're gonna break up so that people leave us alone.
Or as a publicity stunt.
Yeah, that's what that's.
They're trying to get some ratings.
Because that was like a whole lot of love for people leaving each other.
Yep. Yeah, it does. It sounds like a lot.
Like a lot of love.
Again, like you said, it could be for show. They're doing a dog and pony show. See how many people tune in. So moving on next, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez reportedly holding off from announcing their official split. They keep going back and forth. What I do have is, I guess, for 3 months now. 3 months now, rumors have been swirling that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are headed for divorce after 2 years of marriage. I guess the couple who were previously engaged in the 2000s first sparked the split speculation early this May, and Ben skipped the Met Gala, despite J-Lo being a co-chair of the event. And by May 17th of this year, People magazine had reported that the pair were living separately amid strain in their marriage. I don't know if you guys had seen any of the reels of just like their behavior. Like, I guess he was tired of paparazzi like surrounding him every time he's with her. They showed a clip of him letting her get into the BMW. He was escorting her, open the door up, and he slammed the shit out of it. And he walked off. But I think it was because there was some paparazzi by him. I don't know what it was, but it's a clip that played a couple times where he was just like, "Bitch, get in there." He didn't give a damn.
It's not always what that mean, dog. That don't always mean that. That don't always mean that. Sometimes you just be. I've done it before. I don't do it no more, but I've done it before. But it wasn't like a bitch getting the car, just getting the car. It wasn't that. It was just
he was pissed off at he's tired of the paparazzi. I do know that much. Like because they surround. Yeah, they surround. But it said since J-Lo had canceled her tour, which had been set to begin in June, she and Ben put their $60 million mansion up for sale, and they did not publicly celebrate their second wedding anniversary on July 16th. And when Jen threw a party for her 55th birthday in the Hamptons on July 20th, Ben was seen on the other side of the country, which I'm assuming he was in LA and she was in NYC, or she was out there on Long Island. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah, well they done.
But,
she's celebrating her birthday without him. Yeah,
yeah.
Like, who does that? You don't celebrate your birthday without your boo.
Nah. So.
And now they married. They were married, right? So
yeah. So I guess they haven't directly.
I thought they was already broke up. I thought they broke up already, but.
I mean, yeah, it's a back and forth.
Stars.
Right. When you said they getting divorced, I was like, I thought they was already. I got thought like Puffy and everything, and
right. Yeah, I know. I remember when Jamie Foxx was cracking on her on one of his comedy skits. I don't know if you remember that. He was like, "You made fun of me. You said I couldn't sing."
Yeah, that's not familiar. That's crazy.
And that was when she was dating Puff Daddy at the time. But instead, according to sources, Ben and J-Lo are waiting to announce their official split because they want to make sure everything's seamless when they do, especially with everyone involved. So I don't know what that means, everybody involved. But yeah, I guess them too. They want to make sure it's a nice, clean break. But that's all I have for J-Lo and Ben Affleck. And last but not least, something that's newer. Travis Scott arrested in Paris after getting into a fight with his bodyguard, according to French police. I guess he was arrested at a 5-star hotel in French capital in the early hours of Friday, August 9th. And so
who were they fighting?
I guess it said the rapper alleged to have attacked a security guard who attempted to break up the two men at this George B hotel, or maybe George V hotel, according to French authorities. All they can confirm is that on August 9th, shortly after 5 a.m., the police were called to this hotel and arrested a man named Travis Scott for assaulting a security guard. And the Paris prosecutor's officer said in a statement obtained by People magazine that the latter had himself intervened to separate the rapper from his bodyguard. The police district was seized of the investigation by Paris prosecutor's office. Scott told People in a statement, "We are in direct communication with," or a representative from Scott's team said, "We're in direct communication with local Parisian authorities to swiftly resolve this matter and provide updates when appropriate." But sources close to Scott say that the rapper is expected to be released shortly, adding that no injuries have been reported and that he has not been charged with anything. So after multiple days of being chased and harassed by paparazzi upon entering his hotel early this morning, another evening of being sworn with no help given, Travis was arrested at the hotel after unfortunately getting into a fight with his own security detail, his bodyguard. Source close to Scott says the arrest came hours after he had attended the Team USA's basketball semifinal against Serbia at the Bercy Arena in Paris Olympics on Thursday. So I guess he came back late. It had an altercation. But it looks like he was also arrested was arrested June 20th on charges of disorderly intoxication and trespassing on property after a warning, according to public records in Miami-Dade County. So, but that's my flavor bombs
that was
for
crazy.
The evening.
Yeah, man. It sounds like the Travis Scott
He's fighting his own security guard in Paris. Like,
yeah,
you don't fight your mans overseas.
It's too turned.
Yeah, dude.
He's too turned.
Yeah, I had seen a video or a reel of him on social networks where he was telling the paparazzi to go find something to do, like go out on a date. He was being nice. He wasn't cussing them out or anything. He was just like, "Hey, man, go find something to do. Go eat something. Go find, go out with your girl. You know what I mean?" He was being highly professional about it too. So I don't know how that happened with him getting into it with security guard, but it could have just been a misunderstanding. Who knows?
Yo, not for nothing, bro. Like if I'm listening to thinking about the Cardi being Offset, I'm thinking about the Jennifer Lopez and the Ben Afflecks, and I'm thinking about like this. It sounds like everybody just want the paparazzi to just stop being paparazzi. Like people just want to live their lives, man, and just like it's almost like people want to stop being looked at all the time. Like look at them on the screen, look at them on
Right.
stage, like
Right.
look at them on your MTV Raps. But like if they go into the grocery store, I don't think they
Don't look at me.
like they shouldn't be getting judged on the type of yogurt they get. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
Like
kind of. I mean, when you're a
that's
public figure, it
ridiculous.
kind of comes with the territory. You know what I mean? When
And
you
I
come
and
to
I
the public.
and I think that's crazy, right? Like I think we say that and we make it acceptable because we say that, but I
Right.
don't necessarily know if we really want that, right?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, yeah, I agree.
What you mean? Like if I go in the grocery store, like let's say we get real popping, right? Later
Mhm.
on in the future, right? And I go in the grocery store and they're like, oh, he's eating that type of salad dressing. Let me get that one.
He starts. That's called trend setting. You're a
That's
trendsetter.
That's true.
crazy.
Now Trish said, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Setting trends. But I mean, I'll say this just with the whole celebrity thing. You know, there's individuals I've had this conversation with family members and friends. Like, you know, you can be a celebrity and not be famous. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like, all three of us have celebrity status. So, I mean, you can be a celebrity and not be famous, but when you throw the famous, rich and famous in there, that's where, you know, that's all the paparazzi and
Yeah.
all of that comes in. But there's celebrities walking around every day we run into, you know what I mean? And they're just not
True.
famous. That's the only difference, you
They
know? So,
famous. I'm a disagree, just entertainment. You can't be a celebrity and not be famous. You have to be famous in order to be a celebrity. Now you cannot be infamous.
well, I'll
Like
say this. Let me say celebrity status, not necessarily that you're designated a celebrity. You have that celebrity rapport. You know what I mean? Like
all right, so now we got a
the
name
aura.
drop. So who fit that? Like, no disrespect, y'all, to whoever Just Entertainment says is a celebrity, but you ain't famous. Don't take it personal. Who is a person that is a
Hey,
celebrity that ain't famous?
I mean, I'll say, for example, my brother. You know what I'm saying? My sister. You know what I'm saying? I have family members that have celebrity status.
Man,
You know
you
what I'm
better
saying? Just
stop. You better cut
yeah, family
that.
members.
You better cut
Family
that out.
members. Family
You a
members.
celebrity to me to stop that shit.
Hey, you
Cut
a
that shit out.
celebrity to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
saying you
but we
have.
ain't talking about us. We ain't talking about our own celebrity. We talking about for in real life who the public deems as who you would see like if like bro like I'm not a I'm not a starstruck person. Like
Mhm.
I don't get all excited because
Right.
is a celebrity or is famous. All
Yeah.
right. But I'm not gonna lie. If I seen them and get a chance to interact, I'm going to interact.
Facts.
Correct.
But I know who they are because they famous,
Correct.
right? Like
Right.
now, if now the only way I think that wouldn't apply to me is if you're a celebrity, but I don't know who you are. So that's the difference between like if it's a comedian and it's like a guy that's on a circuit that everybody know and other people watching, but like I don't really know who they are. And then I see somebody like now I use the comedian, but then I see an actor like Denzel. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And if
Yeah.
I'm at the grocery store, like I don't know who that actor is. People might be, I'll give you a prime example. Shout out to the Marley family. I was in Miami and I went to the gas station and I got out the car and there was a Rolls Royce that was parked right there. It was a white Rolls Royce.
Mhm.
And there was some girls and they was like, oh, will you take our picture? Will you take? So I'm thinking they trying to take a picture with me. Like, because I'm not paying attention to the white Rolls Royce.
Mhm.
Okay. So they was like, no, take our picture with him. Right. So I was like, I bet, no problem. You know, I'm being cool.
Mhm.
So I took all the pictures they wanted. I mean, like they wanted about 6 or 7 pictures. So I took
Mhm.
all of them. And then they was like, you don't want to get a picture? And I was like, nah, I'm cool. Right.
Hmm.
And then they left and he
Mhm.
proceeded to get gas. And I was like, bro, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who you are. You know, you got these women jumping out of cars, like asking me to service, y'all. I'm
Mhm.
just like, what's going on? And it was Kamani Marley.
Mhm.
And I never knew who he was. So
Mhm.
like, So like but in comparison to Damien or Bob, you know, like if I would have seen Dame coming up, hopping out there, I'd have been like, I know who that is. You know, so that's why I'd be like, maybe that's a good case of a person being a celebrity but not as famous. But I think that people who know who you are, who follow you, who are in tune with it, they're gonna be the ones who geek. They the ones who gonna see you and fan out.
Yeah, I think fame could be delineated by if you appear on TMZ or not. I think all those
On
people are,
TMZ, right?
I think all those people are famous, right? Because they face out and their stories. Those people actually follow them around and like are that got to be annoying, bro. Can you imagine being like a chick and every time you a female, every time you get out your car, you got somebody trying to get like an upskirt. Every time you go up some stairs, like you got a bunch of creeps professionally getting paid to be creeps. Like that gotta suck.
Real quick before we end the flavor bombs, y'all. For Halloween, if it was a Halloween party, which Marvel comic you going as?
Halloween, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
You from New York? Yeah, I'm going Spider-Man.
You going Spider-Man? Who you coming as, Just?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Okay.
You?
I think I'm coming as Incredible Hulk.
Hulk smash. Which one? The gray one or the green one?
The green one, the old school one. The one working on the military base that they only got upset in the office.
Right? He only got to set off. That's funny.
And it always took his lady to calm him back down.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, so y'all have just experienced.
Ain't nobody bringing more flavor than just entertainment with the flavor bomb. Now that's flavor.
Yeah, and we get right back to it with our. So, if anybody's just joining us tonight, we've been talking about patience. Is it bad, good? Is it misunderstood? Discipline or defiance? We have we answered a couple of questions so far. We started with can a person have too much patience, and we got into that, and we came to the conclusion that a person can have too much patience. It depends on their level of tolerance. Next, we got into is patience needed to be successful, and we began to delve into what's needed to be successful and how it relates to patience. And we discussed a few things there, and we can either pick back up here, y'all, or we can go ahead and move on to our third and final question, which is how important is patience in effective communication?
I'm good on if it's being if we need it to be successful, and I think we all agreed that it was yes.
That's a yes, definitely. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into our third and final question of the evening in relation to patience, y'all. Is how important is patience in effective communication? Y'all let us know in the chat, and we're gonna see what we come up with. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the chat.
Yeah, nah, God, it's super important.
So we looked at patience tonight, just going over the quick definition before we correlate it to effective communication. We saw the capacity, habit, or fact of being patient. and the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. And that was our Merriam-Webster definition and the Google definition, the Google Dictionary definition.
Yeah, especially because it mentioned not getting upset, and I could have used a little bit of that today.
a little bit of not get upset or angry.
I could use a little bit not get upset, because all I really wanted was better communications, right? I really just wanted to be understood, and I wanted to understand, and I wasn't being clear on that apparently, right? And I wasn't getting what I wanted, and instead of taking a step back and see how I can get it, I got angry. And I did not come as Spider-Man. I came as Incredible Hulk.
Came as Incredible Hulk.
You know, but yeah, so it's definitely important, man, because if at the end of the day you're communicating to convey a message, to express an idea or a view, right, or to just share an idea, so you have to be able to communicate. So
Emily's been on here communicating all that.
So yeah, it's important.
Yeah, it's definitely important when we see tolerance, restraint, calmness, all of these were even temperedness. What else we have? Understanding, one of the words you just used, God. Kindness, consideration, diligence, resolve, resolution. Yeah. So we see those words that correlate with patience, that also tie directly into effectively communicating. Because I mean, you're gonna have to have some tolerance, you're gonna have to have some restraint, you're gonna have to have some composure, some calmness. You know, because last time I checked, yelling and fussing wasn't a way to effectively communicate or to get resolve.
You just get angry, you just start sweating, your blood pressure go up. Right. So yeah, and again, like, you're communicating, so you have a purpose. And if you lose focus on your purpose, then you can't get what you want. Right. And that's letting your emotions get the best of you, and now your emotions are overpowering your will and desire.
Defying your patience.
I think so, right? Because when you get angry in in conversation, when you get frustrated, like, those are feelings, those are, and when those things prevent conversation from continuing to completion, then yeah, I would say that your emotions got in the way of effective communication, right? Like, your emotions got in the way of you being patient. Like, your emotions affected your tolerance. Your emotions affected your ability to be considerate. Especially mine, like, I like to own my stuff, right? I use this week as every week as like a therapy thing, and as a way to get my week started, as far as making sure that I'm even keel, and not necessarily correct, but just correct as I think I can be.
Yeah. Yeah. We need tools.
We need tools.
We need tools, especially if the ones that was given to us weren't given to us with the amount of time breaking down to explain it correctly, so we could, actually understand it. and then we got No Child Left Behind. So imagine, you know, that just doesn't seem pleasant. But defiance, the reason why I use that word, I'm not sure if our viewers are familiar with defiance, but I use that when the guy said that the emotions will cause a person to abandon their patience and do something that will result in a way that you don't get, you know, what you actually desire, the result that you actually desire. Defiance is the act or instance of defying, challenge, the disposition to resist, willingness to contend or fight. So those emotions defy the patience because it's fighting with it. It's saying to you, like, I don't want to be patient. I don't want to try to learn what needs to be done to be tolerant. I don't want to have any restraint. I don't want to have any calmness, so I can figure out, so we can solve this problem, so we can get the resolve, like, so we can have a resolution. And that's crazy because emotions do that.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
You know,
which is why nobody should action anything from emotion. Right? You can have your emotions, you can process your emotions, you can go through the motions, but to make any moves based off of your emotions is a little scary for everybody. Right?
absolutely.
They can go all the way around sideways. So
yeah, decisions made that aren't thought out, planned out, and clearly calculated. It definitely
I mean, how many brothers in prison right now because of their emotions?
Man,
right?
How many people in bad situations because of their emotions, right? What's the question? The question is, how important is patience and effective communication? That's what we're talking about right now. I saw something in the chat. Shout out E.L. Henderson. E.L. said, I think the lack of emotional intelligence leads to a lack of patience, typically leading to miscommunication. Okay. And a lack of emotional intelligence. So that is a person not being aware of their own emotions, no behavior.
And or the other person they're speaking to. That's emotional intelligence too. Dealing with other, you know what I mean?
In response.
Right.
You know, when I read that, to me, the person that I was thinking about was a self-centered person. That a person that don't really necessarily care about you understanding, but more so just you doing, right? So anytime that person gets challenged, they throw a hissy fit. And now it's just a problem, right? Like,
but
because some people have a problem with being challenged. They have a problem with the whole word.
Yeah.
And not realizing, like, anything that you are trying to accomplish or you are striving for is a challenge. You're challenging yourself to accomplish it. So whether it's be better, whether it's do better, you know, I mean, You have to challenge yourself to be able to do it. That's the challenging part of it, is the part that allows you to have a reward at the end and feel good about yourself that I knew I could do this.
Challenge is actually akin to suffering, I think, right? Because it's hard and you got to overcome, right? And suffering is a part of patience. So like it all goes hand to hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Agreed.
yeah. So you need to be emotionally. That's what I'm saying, right? Nobody should action anything off their emotions. Like you can be mad, but if you really want to have this conversation, don't have that conversation angrily.
Right. And this whole thing, I've been seeing this word pop up a lot in social media and people using this word emotional intelligence. And I like the word. I like the two words, the phrase. I like the phrase emotional intelligence. But I think it's one of them things that it sound good, but people not really doing the work on themselves to
Yeah.
actually figure out what it encompasses to be that, what it takes to actually mold that and work at that and try to perfect that.
Yeah, I think on a personal level, I know professionally they teach emotional intelligence in large organizations. It's a training, you know what I mean? Like the workplace. They
Okay.
teach that when, subordinates or, superiors dealing with subordinates, emotional intelligence. It's professionally it's being taught, but on a personal level, you're right. People they aren't taking the time to do it personally. That maybe professionally because it's something that they're being trained to do at work. You know what I'm saying? So you're right.
Right.
And maybe that might be the reason why is because they have to do it at work. They don't want to do it in their personal life,
Because they have to do it at work.
Correct.
They're getting and so I actually disagree with those emotional intelligence trainings that we have to do at work
See, he
because
knows. Yeah, he already knows.
because they never feel like they're addressing our personal interactions. It always
Right.
feels more like they're training us how to be good slaves or how to be good employees, they're teaching us to comply. And that's cool, and I get that for business sense and stuff like that, but I think it's more important personally. I think if we resolved our personals, professional would be better because we would see each other as humans
Mm-hmm.
and we would just deal with the human and not look at somebody as a sucker or as a predator.
Yeah, I get it. Everybody has a different purpose for going to work. And I mean, honestly, even for me, still, working in civilian workforce, I'm not looking for any accolades. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care about accolades and awards and all. I don't need pats on the back. And, some of society, that's what they thrive off of to be better, human beings on earth and or, professionally, they need those type of motivational, triggers like, hey, I got the certificate, that says I'm, the employee of the month or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So
employee of the month. This week I'm on the floor. Next week I be in the fries,
yeah. So
that was a good word you used, triggers.
I mean, motivational.
I think emotional intelligence, you have to understand and know your triggers.
Right, even in other people, like, what if I say this, I know somebody might respond a certain way, and that's just in personal life too. There's certain things. I mean, again, we live in a highly sensitive society. You have to watch what you say, even when it comes down to different people with different backgrounds, different religions, things of that nature. And I have nothing against any religion by any means. It's just, but I think it's funny that society sometimes expect everybody to know customs and courtesies of different religions too. Like I'm not, this background, and I don't, because you're just not going to know. Like, I mean, it could be anything. Any religion. I'm not going to know specifics. I wouldn't say anything to purposely offend anybody, but I also would not know customs and courtesies and etiquettes of different religions either. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I think people expect.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no training out there unless I join the religion to know I can't touch somebody's hand or I can't talk to female in that religion because of whatever, you know, like I wouldn't know that because I'm not in a religion, you know. It's just, you know, every, you know, every religion has its different, you know, processes, and some of those religions are very highly sensitive as well, things you can and can't do. So like, again, I think everybody, since we live in the United States, just thinks everybody should know just off the jump. You got to know about this background. Well, I don't, because I'm not in it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to join. I may just pass somebody from that other religion in passing, you know. And people can take things out of context too. You say something to somebody from a different country, and to them it means something totally different than you said in America. It's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like if I said, hey, when I told my 5-year-old when at the barbershop, hey, when you're done playing with him, we're leaving when they leave. And somebody took that totally different. I told my 5-year-old, I said, hey, when they leave, we're leaving. Like he could play with them until they leave. And the person that received it took it totally different than what I said. But that just goes to show you everybody.
That seems simple to me.
Right.
I was just telling my son, hey, when you're done playing with that little kid, they're ready to leave, when we get their haircuts and stuff, we leaving. Period. It ain't got nothing to do with their mom, their dad, none of that. It's just, I'm saying, when they're done, we're done. We're out of here. And somebody, the receiving end, or the person that heard it didn't take it that way. And it was funny because one of my barber friends said something to me about it, and he was like, hey, I didn't take it that way, because if I took it some different way that she took it, then I would have got up and said something to him, but I didn't take it that way. It was crazy. It was like, yeah.
We got a couple comments in the chat, y'all.
Let's see here. Yeah.
Entitlement to emotions has become a big problem. You have to become separate from how you feel and add the intellect component to make it whole.
That's a very smart way of saying what I'm saying, right? Nobody should action from any of their emotions. You got to think about it.
I think we should be sensitive to triggers and personal beliefs, but how do we learn without challenge? These games we play with emotional entitlement is nasty. That's true.
I agree.
Well, and that could have something to do with, like, you think somebody ought to feel the same way you feel and they don't. You know what I mean?
Okay. What part of that right there? The thing we think should be sensitive to triggers and personal beliefs, but how do we learn without challenge? And you just said what, Jay?
And about these games we play with emotional entitlement is nasty. Like, yeah, we think people should feel like we feel, and that's why we're all individuals and have individuality. But I mean, that's what I'm gathering about. Yeah, people feel like. But the thing is, when you deal with people, sometimes they don't have any emotion involved in what they're saying. It's just this raw, you know. It's not.
It's not an emotionally driven.
Yeah, it's not like they might not even care what they're saying. They're just saying it. You know, people just sometimes they just say what they want to say, and there's no emotion behind it. Just it's random. They just want us to get it out, and that could be anywhere from, you know, like we have family members that vent about specific things, and then you're kind of like halfway listening, and sometimes you're listening, sometimes you're not. You know, one foot in, one foot out. But then you're not as engaged, but they want you to be engaged, and you're not, because it didn't happen to you. So you're just kind of like just there as like a sounding board, you know.
That does happen, you know, but I eliminate that. If I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you.
Right.
You know, like we having a conversation and it's probably about something significant. If we just bullshitting, then we just bullshitting. But
correct.
You know, if we having a conversation about something, then it's important that you listening. It's important that I'm listeing. You know,
I don't even take hypotheticals lightly.
Oh, you cracking on me with my hypotheticals?
Earlier, we need to know how much them houses going for, man.
He's like, man, I ain't liking that hypothetical salary thing.
We got one right here. In effective communication, can you agree or disagree with peace and not demean the other with insults?
So
Can you agree or disagree with peace?
it's not saying can you, it's telling you can disagree. It's
Oh
saying
yeah, okay, my
you
bad.
can agree or disagree with peace. For me, the word peace means understanding. Because for me, I don't like agreeing to disagree unless I know why we disagree.
Right.
Like I have to understand that. Like I don't need you to change your mind. I don't need to change my mind, but I do have to understand why
A
Why
we
you?
don't.
perspective.
Yeah,
Perspective.
yeah.
Right.
Why you thinking the way you thinking, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking the way I'm thinking, and it ain't lining up.
yeah. Like
Even if
why is
even if you right, even if you don't agree, you still want to understand.
Yeah,
I still and we can and once I understand, then we can agree to disagree.
Right.
Because now I understand.
Right.
right.
But if
And you won't be demeaned with insults because
because I understand.
right, because now I understand.
And I think when you don't understand, that's when you throw pot shots and stuff like that because you
Or
feel this.
right. Or you don't want to. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like people
yeah.
don't want they you get in some situations they don't want to understand. They're not going to understand because they don't want to. And you
Now
got
this is a great question. Thanks Noah. I like this. Check this out. In effective communication, can you agree or disagree with peace and not demean the other with insults? Now, since we was right here on this part, you can agree. I keep saying can you before. You can agree or disagree with peace. Is part of agreeing and disagreeing with peace
by not saying nothing.
not by not saying nothing, but using the cause that I just feel different about it. Is that enough understanding to be able to?
No, not for me, because again, I don't care about your feelings. I need to understand, you know, or maybe or maybe I need to know why you feel like that,
Or what if
right?
that can't
Mhm.
be communicated?
Then I don't know. Like
Because
I
see,
think that's
that's a
fake.
circle. That's a circle around. Like okay, I'm opening up a can of worms on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because a person could say, "That's just how I feel about it."
Hmm.
All right, and then the other person could say, "Well, can you explain to me why you feel that way?" And then the other person is like, "Well, I don't know. I just feel that way about it."
That person lying.
They know why they feel that way.
They know why they feel that way.
They lying, right?
They lying.
Yeah,
Like that's
Ali.
they.
Yeah. They just don't want. They just lazy and don't want to explain to you why
That's
they
what
they
I
feel that way.
thought.
they
I
they
thought they was a lie.
ooh, they lazy and just don't want to explain. They either they lazy or they don't feel like you are worthy enough to take the time to explain stuff too,
Yeah, you're not worthy enough to get an explanation.
right? But either way, they lying.
But either way, they lying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't feel a way and don't have a reason, like unless there's like some psychological block or something like that, and you just forgot about it or something. I don't know,
You know, they
but
got some chemical
And
imbalance.
if you forgot about it, then why you mad? Right? If you forgot about it, why you mad?
Right?
right.
That's common.
If
That's
you
just
can't,
common
if you
sense.
can't, if you can't explain why you mad, so we can resolve it, then why you mad?
Yeah, because so that we can resolve it, right? And if you don't want to resolve it, then that means you lying. You just want to be mad, and you just a hater.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And if you're a hater, then you don't matter,
Pretty
right?
much. Even more
And you
so.
know what? And some things don't need to be resolved.
And some
You
Yeah.
things
know what I
don't
mean?
need to be resolved, right?
Right?
Just leave that shit where it's at.
So,
And
yep, exactly.
Okay, but can you do that in a relationship that requires effective communication? No, you cannot do that with a relationship that you value.
Hmm.
Cause see, we just said fuck the person,
Basically, yeah.
you know, but you can't do that with somebody. You have to have patience. You have to have tolerance.
So
You
we're
have
dealing with Are we dealing with somebody that's mentally challenged at this point?
I mean, I think so. I think all of them are. You know what I'm saying? And look, and I'll be the pack pointing at the kettle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right,
Dealing with my own shit. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Agreed.
Real.
So, yeah, I get it.
Agreed. Like,
you know, but I can own mine though and say, hey, I'm actively working on it though. I give a shit about it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But going back to that though, I do think that the word peace was a clever way of saying understanding, right? But I would need to see that word understanding because peace is too ambiguous. Peace sound like we can just
drop
no
it.
one. Yeah, I don't want to drop nothing. I don't want to drop nothing.
Like I just don't want to talk about it no more.
Like why not?
Ali like. Well, I'm with you, Ali, with the resolving.
Feisty,
I'm with you with the resolving. Yeah. Well, I'm a Capricorn, man.
I don't want to talk about it though. I ain't want to talk about it till I'm done talking about it.
I just need to know why. Like what we talk about. Like,
unless you feel like you need to take a break and it's not getting anywhere, then you come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to hear that. Yeah. I need to hear that. I need to hear like just to be like,
let me marinate on it.
And throw your hands away and be like, man, and stomp it away and having a tantrum. Like those things are unacceptable.
You don't like stuff lingering. Ali don't like to linger. He don't like stuff lingering.
Nah, because
I'm like you.
At some point, I gotta put it down. I gotta put it down at some point, right?
It affects other energies, man.
Like, yeah, bro. Like I can't have that. I can't have that.
Or it's gonna come back up. It's gonna come back up at some point.
It ain't never gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, right? It never left.
For me, it's gonna always be there, and it's gonna be
lingering.
It's gonna always be there. And like, what do they mean by that?
Yeah, you want some type of resolution. I get it.
I just need to understand. Yeah, I'm a doer. I like to set goals, and I like to go in that direction. All right, and the example is sports and training board is play, he trains.
The example is a sports trainer brought his girlfriend to the game of players he trains, which is considered work. I think it's unprofessional. Another opinion would say it's completely professional.
I would want to know if that girlfriend is interfering with the training. Is she distracting the players while they're training?
Right. Or is she in the office or something?
Like she just there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
in the mix.
How is she dressed? Is she, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, is she a distraction or like?
Is she the age of the players and the coach? You know what I'm saying? Should they be there for the players and not for the coach? So like,
you know, and I think that's good, right? I think that we should do a lot less assuming that we understand what each other are saying, and ask for clarity, man. so that we can give an honest answer and not just a quick answer or a witty answer or let me show you how many words I know and how smart I am. Nah, let me understand what you're saying because that's important.
And that's communication factor. I mean, communicating.
That's literally communicating.
And a lot of people people are lazy, Ali. My bad, Pro. What'd you say?
No, I was just saying people, well, you were saying people are lazy in that way. I was saying that that what Ali had just said was patience in communication. Like that is exemplifying patience in effective communication.
Correct, because a lot of people are lazy with the communication. Well, even society today, a lot of people don't want to talk to nobody. Less is more. Like the less people they know they have to talk to, the better. I mean, you see people try to evade people in the workplace too. They don't want to talk to nobody. A lot of people want to work remote, which, I mean, I get it but that's all about the interaction. Like people don't want to interact. They want to hide behind social networks. They don't want to communicate. They want to hide behind posts, comments, subliminal messages, sending memes and things of that nature, stuff like that on the internet. So,
you say hide behind. And
that's their form of communication, but I'm talking about vocal. I'm not talking about writing.
And I'm thinking about, like, because you mentioned remote work and people not wanting to socialize.
Well, I remote work too, so I'm not. I mean,
no, I'm not.
Point intended.
No, I'm not taking a jab. I'm just thinking that how a lot of people want to remote work because people at work are so ugly. Right. Like so it's like if society is so ugly, I'm of the mindset of let's fix the ugly. Let's not just let it be ugly and like
status quo. Right.
It's ugly, so we just got to deal with it being ugly. I'm saying once we can identify as ugly, let's make it pretty or clean it up or get rid of it or something like that. And so yeah, I don't know, man. I know I'm looking at Noah's comment right there. You can agree to disagree, but not understand each perspective. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
How, Noah? How can you agree to disagree but not understand each perspective? Because I'm under the impression that once we're talking about things, we're communicating about the thing that we disagree about, so we can have understanding about each other's perspectives, and that is coming to an understanding between the two of us. So
yeah, I think agree to disagree is super lazy, but lazy is not the right word. Like I think it's misunderstood completely. And it makes people lazy. You know what I'm
saying? E.L. Henderson said you have to know your type of communication, which is very true.
Facts.
He said in his experience, effective communication is different with various individuals. All big facts. I know some people I have to request readbacks from.
Fact. Like, did you understand what I said?
Yeah.
Like, are you following what I'm talking about? Like, when you walk away, are you gonna go do this, or are you gonna go do something completely different?
Right, because everybody's interpretation is different, you know.
And that's the thing, right? We need to stop interpreting. That whole that whole read between the lines
and just follow the damn directions.
We need to stop reading between the lines, right? And ask, what the hell are you talking
about? That's what they call it, reading in. That's what they call it, reading in. Reading in.
And I get that for certain professions and certain skill sets, but for everyday everybody to be doing it, thinking that it applies, like you don't. If I ain't no Joseph from nowhere, I'll be retarded to interpret what he's telling me for the first time as, oh man, I don't like this guy, he's a jerk.
Right.
I don't know that. Like, I don't know nothing about him to say he a jerk. Like, I have no background or nothing. I should probably ask him a question on why he said that. What does he mean by anything that might have offended me, right? And get his understanding or get his perspective so that I can have understanding. So that way after that, if he turns out to be a jerk, okay, he's a jerk because of this position. He's a jerk because of that position, not just because I didn't understand what he said. He's a jerk.
Yeah, but you don't have a lack of initiative, so you would take the initiative to understand. You know what I'm saying? People lack initiative, and you're not
willing to communicate.
Right. You take
to gain understanding. Yeah. To actually have an understanding of, like, well, you said this and this how I felt about it, or this how it bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Or this is what I thought you said. You know?
This how I heard it.
Yeah, or that's how I heard it.
Because that's important.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge.
That's important.
I just learned about that one the other day. I just had somebody say something back to me that's how I heard you say it. And I was like,
that's why that readback was important, right? That readback was important because they'll hear something completely different.
Well,
but it's like, I don't want to type out messages with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. The message.
Like, I should be able to have a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we talk about these things, like when it's on them, when it's when it comes up as an issue, it should be resolved then, or it should be addressed at a later date.
Correct.
And not, not carried to a later date to where, and if it takes a little time to get to the place where both parties need to sit down to be able to effectively engage in that communication, then they got to know, those two parties got to know that that's what needs to be done. And they have to want to do that for the value of the relationship too, as well. So regardless of whether that's professional or personal.
Yeah. See, and I see Noah talking this peace stuff again, right? She's talking about you can walk away and not get it to have peace. I don't know if you got peace. All right, I think you got like a what they call it, a truce.
You can walk away and not get it to have peace. I don't know. I think that's just accepting not getting an answer. That's just accepting not knowing. That's just like, okay, well, do what you want, basically.
And based off of what you do, I'll do what I do.
Yeah, and then you do what you want, I'm gonna do what I want. Like,
but I guess avoiding confrontation.
100% avoid it. Yeah.
Yeah. If it even, but who says it even has to get to a confrontation? You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's what we're talking about. Like, it. And see, and let's not demonize confrontation, because confrontation is what we need to get to conflict resolve.
That's the challenge, right?
And that's the challenge. Yeah.
Root word confront. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we have to do that. You got to confront some stuff, right? You got to have some confrontation a little bit, and it's going to make you a little bit uncomfortable.
Because the moment you say something that I don't understand, I have to confront my misunderstanding. Right. And if I don't understand, then we cannot. I'm telling you, if I don't understand, when we walk away, it is not peace.
Not peace, God. That shit on my mind.
It's on my
mind. Well, I'll say what Noah's saying is probably more of a quick fix. It's just like it's a Band-Aid. You know what I mean? It's a real like it's the easiest thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to do. Walk away, just so you can have peace, so you don't have to deal with it. But
now, I can give credit to this over small things.
Right.
I can give credit to that over small things. Like, we got out the car and somebody left something in the car, so we gotta walk back. Okay, that ain't no big deal. Like, do we all need to go back? I can go back. Did we leave something in the car? Did we come out the house and forget something? Did we forget to not pack a certain thing, or one thing that's something that we could buy? Because it's significant if it's something that's important to a person's health, or or something that they really, really need. You're gonna be like, damn, how could you forget that? Right? Like, so because it's such an important level of thing. But you leave the house and you're going on a vacation or something, and you forget to pack toothpaste or something like that. Like, yeah, we should be able to walk away in peace.
Yeah, nobody should have to start a fight. Now, I do agree with Noah's next statement. Understanding doesn't always have to mean agreement either, she wrote, right?
So that was EL, I think.
My bad. Yeah, my bad.
Yes.
And I agree with that, right?
Yes.
Like, understanding ain't got nothing to do with agreement. I just need to understand why we disagree.
That's it.
Right.
Like, I don't need
and then that leads you, that leads you to peace of mind. You got peace of mind after
now we have peace. Right.
Now we have peace.
Now we have peace.
Because I understand why you disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your whole thought process, how you came to that conclusion.
Right.
How the other party came to that conclusion.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Because you value it too. And you could possibly not end up there again. And that's why the communication is so important. Why it's not cool to just, and I'm not picking on Noah, I'm just saying, but it's not You can't just walk away from it when it's important. Unless it's not important, then you can't just walk away from it. You can't just be like, I'm not going to have a conversation about it. I don't care about it. Because if you don't care about it, then there's no need to be upset. It shouldn't even have been a thing.
Correct.
In the first place.
So it's based on level of importance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because what Pearl say, if you forget the toothpaste, like you can get mad. You can be angry, like, oh man, you had one job, right? Or you can just go buy some more.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was a special toothpaste that you use that you can only buy on Amazon or something, you know what I mean? Like
overnight it.
Yeah, you can still get it mailed to you wherever you at if it's that serious, or you can just go and buy some baking soda while you away. You know,
Facts, right? Like
real cheap.
And that's what I think she means by peace, like not arguing. I think she's talking about like small stuff, like things you're talking about like that. But like as far as on the level that we're talking about, as far as like make or break things and deal breakers and stuff like that, like understanding is key.
Right. And that we talking about patience in relation to, to long term,
right?
Into that tolerance, that's what we was talking about, that tolerance of delay or trouble or suffering without getting angry or upset. And everybody knows it's a challenge because, like you guys clearly stated, the emotions a lot of times get in the way of the ability to be patient, of the ability to be tolerant with everybody for the most part.
Yo, real quick, y'all hear music or is that just me?
Nah, I do hear some music. Who got some music
okay
playing in the background?
I was about to go take a meds. Take my med.
Just you got music in the background?
Yeah. I like it.
You gotta turn
I like it.
Okay.
But we can hear it on the show though. You gotta turn that off.
Who? I don't hold up. No, I don't have no music on. I don't have no music on. I don't have no music on.
Who is that? What is that?
I don't have no music on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. That was that wasn't me. I didn't have no music on.
Oh no, it's all good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy.
Yeah, I don't have any music on at all. And I have AirPods on, so yeah.
Nah, you wasn't going crazy.
I thought it was some background music jumping
I'm
out.
100% sure. I'm 100% sure. Nope. It's fine though.
No, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, word. Nah.
It sounded good, whatever it was.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, emotional intelligence triggers. When things are important, you know what's important to you, right? You know what's worth fighting for. What my mother say, you got to choose your battles. She asked me, "Is today a day we doing battle?" Right? And if I start my day answering that question by yes, I'm leaving my house with a chip on my shoulder, and I'm looking to confront, combat any and everything. But if I say no, then I'm leaving pleasant. I'm in self-defense mode. I have way more consideration for people that appear to be insulting me, right? I double check first before I retaliate. I'm saying versus leaving with a chip on my shoulder and assuming that the insult or the perceived insult was an insult when in reality it was just their quirky personality, just them being them.
Yeah. Because everybody different. Everyone's humor is different.
Everybody's humor is different.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's different. We're gonna take this last question, y'all, right here. We're gonna what was the verdict on the girlfriend attending the game of her boyfriend that trains the team? She is a bystander in the crowd, professional, unprofessional on the trainer. She is not drawing attention to herself.
Nah, she good money. Ain't no. I don't think she doing nothing wrong. I don't think he doing nothing wrong.
I don't either. I mean, it's what is it? A practice?
Yeah, that's what it said. Like, yeah,
It's a
training the team.
It's a
practice.
game, attending the game.
Oh, the game. I mean, well, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I've had girlfriend. I played sports in high school, and I had girlfriend, a girlfriend. I ain't gonna be like I had girlfriends. I wasn't like that, but I was like that on the court. But I wasn't, out there trying to be with every single girl in high school. I had a girlfriend, and she used to come to my games.
Yeah, I don't think that was
Yeah,
unprofessional. I don't think that's no different than a regular fan coming to the
yeah.
game.
And she sat in the stands.
Yeah.
I would hit jump shots and point at her. You know, stuff like that. So, I
Like,
mean,
what's the difference between blowing a kiss at your girl in the stands or blowing a kiss at a regular fan in the stands, like to hype up the crowd and stuff like that, do the whole interaction and stuff like that, right? Like that's
I don't think it's any different. It's just directed to to one person instead of
yeah.
the whole stadium. But I don't know. I mean, the question seems innocent. No, it doesn't seem.
It does.
It seems what's the verdict on the girlfriend attending the game of her boyfriend that trains the team? She's a bystander in the crowd, professional, unprofessional, and the trainer. I mean, I just think that like it's a game. He gets tickets.
Yeah.
you know, who wants to go to the game by themselves all the time? Sometimes you want to take your
Yo,
lady with you.
yo, look at Eric. Yeah, Eric started asking mad questions.
What type of trainer and where is he and she in relation to the team? She said what she said. She was she not drawing attention to herself. She in
Nah,
the crowd.
she just regular. She just dead. Like she not. Yeah, no, I don't think it's unprofessional. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And then what kind of team? I mean, like now I may be interested in what type of team or what type of trainer, but I mean, I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? Don't read into it, right? Just no interpretations. Just just
Yeah,
based on what
just
it's saying.
on the surface, it's fine.
It's just like she's not drawing attention to herself. Like to me, if she was drawing attention to herself, that would be the thing that would make her, I guess, unprofessional. Even though I guess depending on what that would be, I guess,
I
right?
mean, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, what if
Could
what
make
if
the trainer unprofessional because of the behavior she's exhibiting. You know what I mean? It may look bad on him.
Yeah,
She's representing him. So
but what I'm saying is like, what if it's a female trainer? What if it's a ladies basketball team, right? And it's a woman coach, and it's a game, and her boyfriend in the stands.
yeah, I don't know. I can't see nothing wrong with it. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can see wrong is if they hit him on the big screen TV and they was doing something crazy.
But I mean, if it's her fiance and he's proposing that night, and he don't.
Or like
You
he
know,
he out there playing the game and they do a kiss cam and she wound up kissing the dude sitting next to her. Like that ain't cool. Like I don't know. Like it was like so we got to throw a whole bunch of extra stuff into it to make it unprofessional, right? Like
I don't think being in attendance
yeah,
at a
it's wrong.
public event with your significant other
right.
is unprofessional.
I don't either.
You know,
Yeah. She could have easily just showed up and not, you know what I mean? So
what? 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 I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
You
she
know,
ain't say mad situation. She said she was fine. Like she wasn't
yeah,
causing no attention. Like she was
right.
right.
We
Like
we're
I'm
not gonna move the goalposts. We gonna answer
like
the question, right?
You know, like I think,
Face value, no.
yeah, face value now. Like
But like
I think.
EL said, need more info on. I mean, we could elaborate to make this thing whatever we want to make it. It's rushed. It's really raw.
Yeah, we could spin it how we want to spin it.
Yeah, I
but,
mean,
but keeping some integrity, you know. Oh, she said it's a kids team. Is a kids team a difference?
Not if she's not
It's
doing
a
that.
kids team. Is there a difference? No. No. I mean, because you didn't make the boyfriend or girlfriend a petty.
Yeah, right.
You
Or
know what I'm saying?
yeah, nah. Like it be if they again if they're not doing nothing, I don't know. I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah. Like if I'm there, if my wife is a girls soccer coach or or softball or basketball or any other, and because in particular, because I'm guessing, right, we assuming now that the woman being in the place somehow was unprofessional on the trainer's behalf, right? Because I mean, how do we know that the woman? How do we know that we're not talking about a woman? What's the attending the game of her BF that trains the team? Okay, that BF could be it could be a, you know.
I don't
So
know.
so that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're not doing anything that's causing any harm to the environment or
Any
damaging
distraction.
a distraction, but harm
Yeah, harm.
mostly,
Yeah.
because and it correlates with that guy, because the harm is if it's a distraction, if people are going to get hurt, if the person who invited them there may lose their job behind your actions, so yeah, if they're not causing no harm, like I don't see, you didn't really specifically go about, they didn't address their presentation, like their attire, you know like my wife, they do these events. I shouldn't show up to the event in some chaps with my ass out.
No, you should not. No, you shouldn't. Never, ever.
Ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even for play. So,
Not one time.
but that's what I'm saying. But shit like that, yeah, like now you causing the scene. They like, who the fuck invited the dude with his ass out?
And now she gonna be distracted the whole time because
The
like, oh
whole
my God,
time, like,
I can't do what I need to do over here because you over there causing a scene.
yeah. So yeah, it doesn't seem of any significance to cause confusion within a relationship. I don't know. I don't know who would be upset about that. I don't know who would be in the parties. The her or the BF.
Hmm.
So I don't know who would be concerned about that. But man, we got into patience. Can a person have too much patience? Is patience needed to be successful? And how important is patience in effective communication? Those are all the ashes we've been dropping in the ashtray tonight on Cigar Sunday, y'all. That's what we've been smoking on. We've been smoking on patience this evening. And man, we had a really good conversation, and a lot of good insights were exchanged this evening. I definitely want to thank you guys for pulling up. Just Entertainment, man, with the flavor bombs. Can't wait to
Those are fly. I like flavor bombs. Those are dope.
to
that's
see
what's
what
up.
we do with those. See how those keep coming along in the future, man. I'm
Yes, sir.
excited about the next episode of the flavor bombs and the
That's what's
exciting
up.
topics and stuff you got to talk about.
Exactly. Thank you.
We want to wish Jazz Garcelle a safe travel, because we know our sister wasn't here with us this evening, but I know she'll be back next Sunday in the building.
Excellent.
Yeah. Man, patience. Is it bad, good, or misunderstood? Discipline or defiance? We broke a lot of stuff down this evening. And I know in my final little mindset of it, I'm gonna say patience is a good thing, but it's definitely misunderstood. And it's bad when we don't exemplify it, or when we don't try to dig somewhere deep to access a little bit of it, you know, or what we do have, and try to build upon it and keep on growing on it. It's one of them things, like the guy Ali Dabu El was saying, that emotions often do, you know, hinder people from exemplifying maximum levels of patience or tolerance. And I think it's a common thing. It's something all humans share. And everybody has, like Justin Tanger was saying earlier, made a great point. Everybody has their levels of tolerance. And that's fair. That's just a fair thing. That's just a human thing that we all have. And like we always say, we're not the gurus, end all be all. We just like to have these conversations. And if you hear something that you like, you know, pick it up in the ashtray, take a couple puffs. If you don't, leave it right there. Let somebody else come along and hit that. You guys got anything else before we close out the show?
Nada, man. Productive night. Thanks, Ali. Thanks, DBCHEFTV, Chef Pearl.
For sure, family.
Yeah, no, I'm good, God. Like it was definitely a good show. And ironically, right on time, right? Cause I needed this lesson.
You was being bad, dog. You was being bad.
Today. So yeah,
that's what's up, Ali.
I needed this. So yeah, I appreciate y'all, fam. Just keep it productive, right? So yeah, man.
Yeah, it's all love. Well, we want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure to like and share the video. Also, leave us a comment. Tell us how you felt about the show. Tell us, you know, what y'all thought. Give us y'all perspectives on patience. You know, drop some topics in there, some words that if y'all want us to talk about those words, you know, we'll run it as a subject for the evening for the show. And also make sure that you have a positive, peaceful, and productive start to your weeks. And to this week, to the beginning of your week. And we will see you all next week right here at Cigar Sundays live at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Peace, family.
Peace, God.
When you look good, you feel good. So let's get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch. August 1st through November 1st. Shop until you drop from our huge selection of apparel and accessories. Use code and enjoy 10% off our entire site at checkout. Visit www.dbcheftv.com. Hit the shopping link while supplies last and get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
It was your body that I had to try. Told you my touch gives you a rush that you can't deny. Girl, I got this feeling stronger than Marvin gets sexual healing. So let me give it to you and only you, 'cause you're that special. Know that you're special, just like the wind. I'm in love with your body, every piece of your skin. mission, can I feel slow? Starting at your knee, full perfection, girl, I'm able. I want your body like right now. Them candles come alive, turn them lights out.